really good offensive line.
The 2023 ACC football season is underway. Chandler Brayboy lets it roll through the back of the end zone, and the Elon Phoenix will start with the football at the 25. And it's an offense led by offensive coordinator Drew Fulmer that we expect to run the ball, try to get that Wake Forest secondary to come close to the line of scrimmage, and then pop it over the top, which Downing is more than capable of.
And he's got an arm. There's no question about that. The guy has played a ton of football. He's 24 years old. I mean, he's played probably more football than most people in their entire lives at 24 years old, of course. But this offense is going to be interesting to watch, especially because their running back, Jahmal Banks, we didn't get a chance to talk about there in the open, but a transfer from Virginia Tech, who's very talented.
Probably the best player on their offense. He gets the call here on the first play of the season, and he twists forward for 1 yard on first down. It's an Elon offensive line that their 5 starters are all 300 pounds or above, and they're blocking for a running back in Jahmal Banks, who started his career at Virginia Tech. It kind of feels like an ACC run game.
It does, and, you know, it was interesting this week. We found out that Jahmal Banks' nickname is Bam. Not Bam Bam, but Bam.
Just one Bam.
Just Bam, and I think we'll see why he has that nickname as we go throughout this game.
The coaching staff referred to him as a knee bender. Only gained 1 yard on the first play from scrimmage, and that pass from Downing is dropped by Jordan Bonner. It's an Elon group that lost their top 2 receivers from last year. Expect Bonner to have a big season. The first pass goes right through his hands.
Yeah, Bonner, one of the most experienced receivers on this squad, transfers in from Purdue a few years ago, but I'll tell you what, that ball should have been caught. Maybe a little too much mustard on the throw from Matthew Downing. I can imagine he's probably got some nerves in his first start.
On 3rd down and 9, Downing spins away from pressure, throws on the run toward the boundary, and it's incomplete. And the Wake Forest defense forces a 3 and out.
Yeah, really good job on that play by Jasheen Davis, the defensive end. Forces the quarterback, Matthew Downing, outside the pocket, nowhere to go with the football, just has to pretty much throw it away. You see 30 coming in there, forcing the pressure. That's one of the best defensive ends of the ACC.
The goal for Elon and Coach Tony Trisciani was to put the pressure on a little bit, maybe get the nerves on the Wake Forest side, and 45 seconds in, they go 3 and out. Kyle Romanek out to kick it away for the Phoenix. Taylor Morin, one of the best punt returners in the country, will get a crack here. Past his own 40, right on top of that big WF logo. He's near midfield. Wake Forest has good starting field position for Mitch Griffis in the Demon Deacons offense.
Very excited to see Mitch Griffis come out here and run this offense. The coaches just rave about his ability in practice to kind of create angles with his throws, with his arm angles and things like that, but also maybe one of the steadiest, most efficient quarterbacks that Coach Kloss has ever been around.
Just his 2nd career start, and he's starting the season opener for back-to-back seasons. Justice Ellison is the running back. Griffis fakes it to him, completes to Keyshawn Williams. And he'll pick up about 5 yards on Wake Forest's first play of the season. Williams, a dangerous receiver out of the slot, one of 4 returning Wake Forest wide receivers to go for 500-plus yards last year. Only team in FBS that can say that. 2nd down, Griffis throws quickly. There's Taylor Morin. After his 13-yard return, he picks up about the same here on his first reception. First down, Deacs inside the 40.
This quick decision by Mitch Griffis to get rid of the football. Finds one of his go-to guys, Morin, sits right down at the sticks and picks up the yards after the catch.
And here's that pace and space offense. Wake Forest wasting no time. They move about as quickly as any team in college football. And Griffis picks up a solid gain on first down, dropped by Marco Paterno.
I mean, really what they're trying to do is try to create a little bit of confusion with the defense. They get up to the line as fast as they can, but then they may go tempo, they may slow it down a bit. There's the mesh.
There's Ellison around that left side, tries to stiff arm past his defender Dylan Tucker, who Elon expects to play a big role this year in that spur position, and brings up 3rd down. Well, you said the magic word there, Foxy, which is mesh. And really, the magic phrase for Wake Forest has been slow mesh. That's what everyone across the country refers to their offense as. They don't really like it, though. They're rebranding this year pace and space.
Yeah, they kind of feel like that's been a take that a lot of people, I don't want to say it's a lazy take, but if you watch this offense, it's much different.
On 3rd down and 3, Griffis completes. They'll move the sticks again. Say hello to Cameron Hite, his first year as the TE1 here in Winston-Salem. He's got his first catch of the season. Another fresh set starting just outside the red zone. Griffis swings it out. There's Ellison. He can do this out of the backfield. He gets tripped up. He'll pick up a short gain on 1st down. Bo Sanders, the leader of the Elon defense, number 7, comes down from his safety position to make the tackle. But pace and space, if you're a big NBA fan, that sounds familiar. That's really been the trend with small ball in the last 10 years, which is when Dave Clawson and Warren Ruggiero, the offensive coordinator, took over here. That's what they like. They spread you out and they move quickly, and they've got a wide open man. Griffis finds him for a touchdown. Wesley Grimes scores the first 6 of the season for the Demon Deacons. He had a lot of pace and space.
A lot of pace and space there. That was just an easy throw and catch. You see the corner coming in here on the blitz. That's Jaden Dennis, number 8. And then just no one covers over top. Wide open. The safety's got to be there to help the corner who's blitzing. And a great job of recognition by Mitch Griffis to see the blitz coming and sees the wide open wide receiver in the end zone.
Redshirt sophomore Matthew Dennis tacks on the extra point. More of the same from Wake Forest on the first drive. Griffis goes 5 for 5, 46 yards and a touchdown.
Pitch and catch. The way you want it if you're a Demon Deacon fan. 7-0 from Winston-Salem.
Cool here in college football, and even still, Wake Forest, like a hot knife through butter, goes right through Elon and scores the first touchdown of the season. Caleb Carlson on a touchback again, and Dustin Fox, let's go back to that Wake Forest touchdown.
Yeah, let's take a look at what happened. There was a miscommunication, had to be. The corner comes on a blitz, and then the safety comes on a blitz as well. They clearly did not communicate. You've got to have a safety over top. Both of them come. It leaves Grimes wide open, and a great job of recognition by Griffis to find Grimes for the pitch and catch.
Dustin, as a former cornerback yourself, if that happened to you, what would you be saying on the sideline of the safety?
Well, again, I don't know whose fault it was. Was the safety supposed to come, or was it the corner? Either way, they've got to get that communicated.
So Matthew Downing.
If it wasn't on me, I'd be upset.
Yes, yes. Watch the film. Matthew Downing back to work. The quarterback for Elon gives it to Jalen Hampton, who's going nowhere. Malik Mustafa was the first guy in there from his safety position. It'll go down as a loss of 4. They describe Mustafa as a missile.
Not only is he a missile, he looks like what God would make a football player look like. Almost like those mannequins. Didn't they kind of explain that to us? Like the guys that are all muscly wearing the uniforms that they show off. That's what Malik looks like. What a great player he is.
They'll put him all over the field. Number 3 for Wake Forest. It brings up a 2nd and 13. Downing looks to throw. Completes along the sideline. Cody Hardy, the tight end's got it. Past the original spot, but it's another 3rd down and long coming up for Elon.
A tough spot to be in for Elon to start this game. Behind the sticks against a defense that is really trying to revamp some of the things that they didn't do well a season ago, which was give up a lot of big plays. They've got a lot of players back that are healthy, one of which, by the way, is Kalen Carson, their top corner, who gives them a lot of flexibility.
Blitz coming for Wake, and they get him. Downing goes down in a heap. And it's Jacob Roberts. Welcome to Winston. North Carolina A&T transfer brings down Downing for a loss of 12.
Now, Roberts is going to get credit with the sack, but really it was Jasheen Davis who sets this up. He comes in on a twist. 30 comes inside, and that allows 40 Jacob Roberts to come around for the sack and a big stop by the Demon Deacons.
They love this guy. FCS transfer. They said we're going to see him a lot. So it's 2 offensive possessions for Elon, -6 total yards. And Taylor Morin's got the fair catch at his own 40.
Well, they've got some speed on this defense. You know, Jacob Roberts, who you mentioned there, Drew, transferred in from North Carolina A&T. This is a guy who in high school was a 10-600 meter guy, right? At his size, 6'1", 235 pounds, he can flat out fly.
Mitch Griffis couldn't have been a whole lot better on his first drive as the full-time starter here for Wake Forest. It ended with an 18-yard touchdown to Wesley Grimes. They'll start with a pass on the first play of a new drive. Griffis with plenty of time behind that experienced offensive line, and he dives forward for a gain of 1. Now, when you look back at the quarterbacks who have been here under Dave Clawson and Warren Ruggiero, think about John Wolford, think about Jamie Newman, Sam Hartman. Clawson says Griffis is probably closest to Wolford in terms of size, arm angle ability, and also speed moving around the pocket. On 2nd down and 9, he throws kind of a sidearm. It's complete to the tight end again. Cameron Height, his second catch early to set up 3rd and short.
Hey, you talked about some of those previous quarterbacks under Dave Clawson here at Wake Forest. Really, really good players. And Wolford, who is in the NFL. Sam Hartman, there's no question he'll be in the NFL very, very soon. He looked pretty good last weekend.
And Jamie Newman still playing in Canada.
Yeah, absolutely. Good point.
On 3rd down, Griffis fading, and he gets dumped. Marvin Pearson will get credit for the sack. The quiet leader of this defense with a big play to set up 4th down.
Yeah, if there's one player on this Elon defense that's getting looks at by the NFL, it's probably Marvin Pearson. You know, they came into this season, last year, I should say, they led the CAA. I mean, they had almost 3 sacks a game.
So it brings out Ivan Mora for the first time this season. Bo Sanders back to receive for Elon. He brings in the fair catch just inside his own 25. A little juice from Elon defensively. They get a sack and they get the ball back, trailing by 7 midway through the first.
Football is the game of life.
And
oh my goodness.
Absolutely amazing. One of the coolest things I thought, Drew, they've got these little pods for the players to take naps in.
I think we woke somebody up.
I think we did.
Matthew Downing gets sacked again. Clearly Wake is well rested, and that's Nick Anderson.
Well, Nick Anderson just woke up Matthew Downing.
Yes.
Wow. Anderson's such a fun player. I mean, this guy just does it all for this defense. And, you know, he doesn't get a lot of notoriety, former walk-on, but the guy just is a player, just a football player.
Anderson burst onto the scene 3 years ago in the COVID year 2020, had those 3 interceptions against Virginia Tech. And I mentioned that's when he was a walk-on. Now he's a scholarship player, and he looks like it. So it's back-to-back offensive snaps with a sack for the Wake Forest defense. Wayne Dixie III gets the call for Elon. It's going to be another 3rd down and a mile for the Phoenix. So far for Elon, they have not found much success on the ground, especially where they're at a -16 rushing yards. But Dustin, this is an offensive line that should do really well once conference play starts.
Yeah, there's no doubt. I mean, these guys are good players. It's a little bit different. You're playing up to a Power 5 program. But Jabril Williams and Kevin Burkhead, they're on the right side in the center. Those are the 2 guys. They're probably the alphas on that offensive line. Probably 2 of the better offensive linemen in the entire FCS.
They'll have to protect here on 3rd down and 15. Downing under duress quickly again, has no time to get the pass out to Christian De Silva. And it's 3 drives, 3 3-and-outs for the Phoenix offense. You mentioned last year the weakness for Wake Forest defensively was giving up a lot of big plays.
Yeah.
They haven't been tested at all so far.
Well, you look at the stats. I mean, Elon has -11 yards of total offense to start this game. That's a pretty impressive performance so far. by the Demon Deacon defense, led by defensive coordinator Brad Lambert.
It's another punt for Romanek. Another return opportunity for Taylor Morin with a flag down on the near side, away from Morin, who spins out of a tackle. At his own 30, puts the shoulder down. And we'll start Wake Forest right there. Tim Hedgepeth is our referee tonight. Let's get the first call of the game.
Personal foul, face mask, receiving team number 1, 15-yard penalty, first down, Wake Forest.
It's Kalen Carson, one of their starting cornerbacks, playing on special teams. Hit with the face mask, and Dave Clawson's team moves back to start this new drive. We get another look at that Demon Deacons pace and space, hang and bang offense when we return. It's time for football in front of a packed house under the lights. Demon Deacon Batman is fired up for that matchup, and Foxy, there have been some words exchanged between those two teams as Wake Forest starts with a short give to Damon Claiborne.
Well, the Red Hawks certainly don't lack confidence. They're a well-coached football team with Chuck Martin. And Brett Gabbert said this week that they were going to show him, what did he say? They were going to show him who the real Miami is, or something along those lines?
He was asked, where's the real Miami? And he said, Oxford, Ohio. We'll show him. It's fighting words.
Yeah.
Griffis throws complete over the middle. It's Grimes who's got a touchdown already tonight, showing off the wheels around the left end, and he's dragged out just before the 30 by Antonio White. That was a hang and bang, partner, not a slow mesh. It's got a new name.
That was a beautiful play design by Wake Forest. He hangs, and then he bangs right down the middle as Antonio White was in coverage, and really no help in the middle of the field either. So that was a beautiful throw and catch.
On the ground again with Claiborne, the RB2, who will get a lot of run this year for Wake Forest. A punishing run to pick up 8 or 9 on first down. I hope William Hung from American Idol is watching this, because he's going to love this broadcast. If you say he bangs again.
Oh boy.
There's Claiborne, who slithers through the offensive line and moves Wake Forest right to the edge of the red zone. But you know,
you were very excited about all these terms this week. The pace and space,
the hang and bang. Well, we would joke about it because
they don't want to talk slow mesh.
They don't want the slow mesh anymore. They feel like it's a lazy way to describe their offense. That's exactly the word Dave Clawson used with us. They say they run slow mesh maybe 5 to 10% of the time. Here's a straight drop for Griffis, and he throws a missile incomplete. Bo Sanders on the coverage as he tried to get it to Wesley Grimes again.
You know, it is interesting. I was sort of surprised when he said they only run it 5%, less than 10% most games, because it feels like that's like what we see. Like, it seems like most of their big plays, the highlight plays, come off of that that formation and that play design, I should say. But so far today, we've only seen it about 3 times.
On the sweep, it's Keyshawn Williams, who's got lots of speed, and he is tripped up just in front of the sticks. Inside the 15-yard line, Williams, a great athlete, who was a starting point guard for his high school team in Philadelphia.
Yeah, he averaged 18 points a game way back when at Chestnut Hill.
He's yet another guy in that long line of slot receivers to come through Wake Forest. Williams, the motion man again. 3rd down and 3. It's Claiborne. Hot pursuit by Pearson. What a first quarter for the senior out of Asheville, North Carolina. A tackle for loss moves Wake back.
And you'll watch number 6 here come off the left side. He's unblocked. Absolutely unblocked. And you see 13 Keyshawn Williams kind of right there. And I think he took one look at Pearson and said, okay, I'm not having anything to do with that, as Pearson makes his second big play in the backfield today.
You're seeing why scouts have inquired about him. He's 265 and explosive. So it brings out Matthew Dennis for his first attempt of the season from 34 yards. Took over for Nick Skiba last year, and he was rock solid. And Dennis's first kick is good. So with under 3 minutes to play in this first quarter, Wake's lead extended to 10-0. Drive wraps up at 8 plays for 68 yards in 3 minutes and 10 seconds. And now for Elon, we'll see if they can get anything going. The Phoenix last year back in the FCS playoffs for the first time in 5 years, trying to build as they're an experienced group coming into this season.
Yeah, and listen, they've got a very tough schedule ahead this season. You look back to last year, winning 3 games over ranked FCS teams, that was tremendous. Obviously, the loss to Furman was a tough one there in the postseason, 31-6. But they feel like they can build off of last season. They got good players back. The question is, how good's their quarterback going to be?
Tony Trisciani's team, you described them as a developmental program. Kind of similar to what you hear about Wake Forest, right?
Yeah,
just at a different level.
Both schools don't really take a lot of transfers. You talked about it with Elon, and I think they only brought in 3 or 4 transfers. They said, we're okay. We like to kind of build our culture. We'll take a brother-in-law once in a while.
A couple of stepbrothers.
Yeah.
Caleb Carlson boots it away for Wake. We'll get our first look at Chandler Brayboy as a return man. He's got lots of speed. Their most dangerous weapon on the outside brings it just past the 25-yard line. It has been a struggle for the Phoenix so far tonight. 3 drives, 3 3-and-outs. What do you want to see from them, Foxy, as they try to establish some footing offensively?
Well, listen, I thought coming into the game they'd maybe be able to have a chance to get something going on the ground. That has not that hasn't happened at all. Their offensive line has not been able to get a push, and I thought because of the maybe some inexperience at the defensive tackle position for Wake Forest, they may have some opportunities up the middle. They just have not been there.
And more of the same.
Kevin Pointer. Are you kidding me?
Comes flying in for a big tackle for loss.
Big old 91 just absolutely blows by the center here, and there's just no one there. I mean, it's just keep tacking up the negative plays for Elon. Jabril Williams, the center we talked about, is a good player, but didn't even get a body, didn't get a hand on Kevin Pointer.
Elon now up to or down to negative 20 rushing yards for the night here in the first quarter. This time they fake it to Hampton. Throw from Downing is complete to Jamarian Dalton. And Dalton taken down by A.J. Williams, the redshirt junior safety, to bring up another 3rd down and long. And this is the thing, Dustin, they don't have a chance to take any shots because they're behind the sticks every time.
Well, at least that play was a positive yardage play, right? I mean, we were behind the 6 because of the loss on 2nd down, or on 1st down, I should say. But I do think you got to get the football out of Matthew Downing's hands as quickly as possible and try to get something going on the perimeter and make Wake Forest run these plays down.
Third down and 7. The Deacs rush forward. Downing throws across the field, and another form tackle for Wake Forest. Jamari Glasker, the redshirt freshman out of Temple Hills, Maryland, stops Dalton in his tracks to set up 4th down.
What was crazy is that they're still 2 yards short of the 1st down. That was their best drive. They had a couple throws out there on the perimeter that puts them in position here, but obviously you're still going to have to punt the ball at your own 34-yard line.
Brad Lambert looks on, the defensive coordinator. And with under a minute left in this first quarter, that ball skips out of bounds at the 20-yard line. So baby steps for the Elon offense, but Wake Forest will take back over after the 46-yard kick from Kyle Romanek.
Are you too young for What About Bob?
Huh?
Too young for What About Bob?
Not sure what you're talking about.
Okay. Yeah.
Do enlighten me, Vern.
Baby steps. Our audience knows.
There was a flag down. Tim Hedgebeth, what you got?
Personal foul, face mask, kicking team number 27. That 15-yard penalty gets added to the end of the play. First down, Wake Forest.
It's Elon's first penalty tonight. Chaz Harley, guilty of a face mask. So the Wake Forest offense goes back to work. It's a team that's been prolific under Dave Clawson, averaging 30-plus points per game 6 years in a row. Here's the hang and bang. Griffis completes. And it's Jahmal Banks, who caught 9 touchdowns last season, moves the sticks, a gain of 17.
It's amazing how long Griffis holds that football in the belly of the running back before he pulls it out. And from a defensive standpoint, it creates so much confusion in terms of eye discipline. It's very difficult to defend.
Could be the last snap of the first quarter. Griffis hangs on to it, and he's got wheels. Mitch Griffis steps out of bounds with under 10 seconds to play in the first. He's got another first down. Deacs. And that clock will roll. That new rule emphasizing the tempo of the game. And the Demon Deacons will take a 10-0 lead after 15 minutes. Back alongside Dustin Fox, I'm Drew Carter. Great to have you with us on this beautiful Thursday night here in the Triad. Deacs offense back to work, led by Mitch Griffis. He hands it to Justice Ellison, an all-ACC performer last year, and he cuts upfield for 3 or 4 yards. Now, we talk a lot about Dave Clawson when we reference the Wake Forest offense, and rightfully so, but Warren Ruggiero's been with him from day one, and this is year 10 for them together. And you see Ruggiero coaching against his old team. He was the offensive coordinator at Elon for 2 years in the mid-2000s. He's got some great memories from his time with the Phoenix. Griffis under duress, just got rid of it. Pressure applied by Nick Velos. But that Clawson-Ruggiero offense is known for its tempo. You see, since they took over in 2014, this has, by seconds per play, been the fastest offense in the country.
You know, it was interesting. I asked Coach Clawson if there's a certain number of plays they're trying to get in per game. He said, no, there really isn't. There's no goal. I also wonder how much that will be affected by this new clock change.
Sure.
How many plays? They're probably going to get about 6 or 7 less plays offensively per game. But nonetheless, they absolutely do play tempo.
3rd and 7. Griffis cuts it toward the end zone. Jahmal Banks, are you kidding? Touchdown, Deacs. 33-yard score to the contested catch king.
.6'4", 200 pounds. This is off-man coverage, and he's just going to go up right over top of Antonio White. What tremendous concentration to come back. The ball thrown a little bit behind. I think that might have been by design, but just a great catch by Jahmal Banks, who picks right up where he left off a season ago with those 9 touchdowns.
Antonio White is not small. He's 6'1", 187. He just got mossed by the guy who led the ACC in contested catch rate last year.
That's what, 63%?
Yes, sir. Best in the league, which is a big part of those 9 touchdowns. Matthew Dennis adds the extra point. 17-0 Wake Forest.
Well, new quarterback, same wide receivers, same result. Touchdown for the Deacs, 17-0. With the Monarchs, right?
The Monarchs.
There we go.
Old Dominion came here for the season opener a couple years ago and got their doors blown off. That was when they were still an FCS team. By the way, when you said that game has some juice, were you talking about Colgate and Syracuse? I mean, I can only imagine.
Oh, you're an upstate New York guy. You excited about that?
Fired up.
You pumped?
I know where I'll be Saturday. Caleb Carlson kicks it away for Wake Forest, leading 17-0 early second quarter. Here comes Chandler Brayboy, and he loses his footing. The turf monster takes him down inside his own 20.
Are you going to the Loud House Saturday?
No, sir.
Okay.
No, sir. Hopefully at some point this season, though.
There you go.
All right, so those numbers are not a typo, folks. Negative 20 rushing yards for Elon. Only 17 passing yards, so they're in the red in total offense. What can they do to get the wheels moving?
Well, the last two plays of the previous drive, I thought they were positive yardage plays where they got the ball in the perimeter to a couple of their wide receivers. They got to make somebody miss, right? Make a guy miss a tackle and see if you can create a big play. And Slocum's going to blitz off the edge here from the nickel spot.
So Wake brings the heat. Downing stands in there, throws. Chandler Brayboy can't bring it in. Oh, he had him on the back shoulder look. Kalen Carson was in coverage. And I was just about to say, Dustin, maybe they can get 4 involved. We've seen him returning kicks. There's a reason for that. He's got great speed. Yeah,
probably the fastest guy on the entire Elon football team. Just got like a bit of a double move, and right as Carson does that speed turn, the football is thrown to the outside. Oh, game of inches, right? So close. And they could have used that big play.
Second down and 10 for Matthew Downing and company. Bam Hampton right up the middle. And again, it'll be third down and pretty long for Elon as Hampton, you see why they call him that, will not go down. Hampton outstanding last year, 1,000 years in his first year with this program. Spent 2 years at Virginia Tech, never saw any action, but Russ Huseman, who's the head coach at Richmond, said, I'm not sure why he didn't play at Tech. He's an all ACC type back.
He looks like an ACC back. And we saw him down there on the field before the game. Very physical. Got great speed. Good balance. The one thing that they did talk about this week when we talked with Coach Trish was they need him to get the 10-yard runs first before he can get the 50-yard runs. Those 10-yard runs are vital.
Downing again under pressure. Can't get out of it. Elon moves to 0 for 5 on third down tonight. Kendron Wayman credit for the sack, the third tonight for Wake Forest.
And this again, Jasheem Davis 30, just absolutely watch him come inside on Zane Gilbert 76. He just pushes the pocket and really just puts Gilbert in the lap of Downing and allows the sack to be made by Wayman. Davis makes a lot of plays that don't go in the stat sheet, but allows his teammates to make some plays around them.
Another punt for Kyle Romanek. Wake applying the pressure, but there's a flag. Looks like a false start against the Phoenix.
False start. Offense number 9. 5-yard penalty. It's still fourth down.
So Tony Trisciani's team retreats further into its own territory. Romanek gets it away. A spiraling kick, a low one to Morin, gives him some space. And Morin is into Elon territory. Past the 45, sets up Wake Forest in prime position. The last thing Elon's defense wants to see right now is a short field for a Wake Forest offense that's been dynamite, led by the new QB1.
Yeah, he's been absolutely phenomenal to start this ball game. A couple of touchdown throws. That one was too easy with the blitz coming off the edge. There's the old hanging bang, as we've said multiple times. They want to refer to their offense as that now. And then this beautiful throw in probably even more of a dynamic catch by Banks in the corner of the end zone with his size and his ability to go up and make a play.
Griffis has as many touchdowns as incompletions.
Is that good?
It's the same thing Sam Hartman did last week in his first game with Notre Dame. Griffis throws. Morin.
Oh, good. I thought he caught it.
I thought he did too.
He was working on Bo Sanders, the safety, and the ball was thrown kind of to the backside of Morin, and it felt like for a moment, Drew, that he was going to come up with this football. nearly had it with one hand.
So I jinxed Griffis. That's his third incompletion. Now 9 for 12, and now he gets sacked. Brought down by Caleb Curtin. The safety playing that bandit position comes down to make it 3rd down and forever.
This is kind of an interesting blitz by Caleb Curtin. He comes in, he jumps, and it kind of throws off Mitch Griffis for a moment, and then he gets back down on the ground and sprints Griffis to make the sack.
Elon's 2nd sack tonight. Last year they led the CAA with almost 3 per game. 3rd down and 18. Griffis will throw. Stands in. Lots of time now. He goes down. Chaz Harley with back-to-back TFLs for Elon. That's 3 sacks now for the Phoenix just in the first half.
They're picking up right where they left off a year ago. This is against a much better opponent in Wake Forest. Griffis has all day to throw. At some point, that clock's got to go off in Griffis' head to either step up or get rid of the ball.
Ivan Mora sends it high into the night sky here in Winston-Salem on a beautiful evening for football. And a fair catch is made by Bo Sanders just outside his own 10. So that's 2 3-and-outs forced by the Elon defense. Can their offense help them? They take the field next. In poll, of course, a couple of years ago they won 11 games, played in the ACC championship, and then last year started hot, finished 8-5. New quarterback is in there for the Phoenix. It's Justin Allen who hands to Chandler Brayboy on the end around, and so far so good. They move the sticks on his first play.
Interesting that they bring Allen here, maybe just to try and get something going offensively. Nice job with the end around.
Well, they got it to one of their best playmakers in Brayboy. Allen's a guy with experience in this program. It's his 5th year, including a redshirt. And not entirely surprising, maybe this early it's surprising, but they told us that 3 quarterbacks could take snaps tonight. It's Brayboy again who makes the catch here, matched up with Kalen Carson. And another solid gain on 1st down.
Well, it's the opening week. It's the opening game. Like, why not take an opportunity to get somebody in there and just try to shake something up? I mean, you've got 7 yards of total offense. It can't hurt to try something else, just to see if you can get something going.
You see Coach Tony Trisciani, year 5 at the helm of the Phoenix. Allen, the redshirt junior out of Leesburg, Virginia, throws. Keeps rather and gets brought down after a short gain to set up 3rd down.
Allen had a terrific high school career. 68 touchdown passes there in Leesburg.
You saw Matthew Downing on the sideline there. He started tonight, his first game with the Phoenix, on his 4th different school. Allen, a guy with much more experience in this program. He'll try to convert the first 3rd down of the night for Elon. They go under center here on 3rd down and 2. Play clock's at 3.
And you got Dixie in at running back.
Maybe a little miscommunication on the handoff. They almost ran into each other, and Dixie's going to be short. Jasheen Davis in there first for the Demon Deacons.
Yeah, they don't go under center very often, Drew, and right there, it almost appeared as Allen turned the wrong direction to hand the ball off to Dixie. There was definitely some confusion there on that play. And you need about an inch or 2, right? 4th and less than 1. What do you have to lose?
Well, they have -6 rush yards tonight.
I would just quarterback sneak. Show the pipes off there. A little bit bigger than you, Drew.
That is not an insult, my friend. I'll take it. 3rd and goal. Allen throws corner of the end zone. DeMarcus Rankins got it. Interception in the end zone. Rankin hauls it in for Wake Forest and snuffs out the best drive of the night for Elon.
Well, Rankin, who just got called for the pass interference that set him up inside the 15-yard line, comes right back and totally redeems himself. Wake's ball. We come back.
We're approaching the end of the second quarter here at Legacy Stadium in Winston-Salem. A gorgeous Thursday night. Thanks for spending some of it with us. Alongside Dustin Fox, I'm Drew Carter. Look out, Mitch Griffis got it away and completed it to Wesley Grimes. He's out of bounds near the first down marker. And Griffis got blown up.
He got absolutely hammered in the backfield. Somehow he's able to stand in the pocket and deliver. And fortunately for Griffis, he's okay. Takes a big-time hit.
Yeah, that was a different kind of hang and bang, Foxy. He was hanging in the pocket, and then he got crushed. Second down and 1. Ellison on the carry, tripped up, but he should have enough to move the chains. Now the clock, you see it's moving. It will stop on a first down under 2 minutes. Again, that's a new rule this year as college football not necessarily tries to speed the game up in terms of total time it takes, but looks to reduce the plays by a few per game and also increase the tempo play to play. On first down, Griffis floats it up the seam. Heights got it. And look at the big tight end go. Hits the Jets. Touchdown Wake. 69 yards to the house.
Talk about a change in events. What looked like Elon was going to go in and score a touchdown. They get the interception. They come right back down the field and score so quickly. Height was matched up against TJ Young, the middle linebacker, number 0, and just beats him right down the seam. And what a throw by Mitch Griffis. And the thing you love here is how about the time that Griffis has to throw this football. As we go back and take another look from the all-22 vantage point, you can see Heights in the backfield. He's going to run right down the seam. 0 is TJ Young, the Mike backer. He's playing man coverage. He's running with them, but just doesn't have quite the speed. And Griffis sees it, delivers it on the money. And Height with a little extra burst there at the end.
Are we sure he's a tight end?
Goodness, I mean, he was the number 2 tight end last year, and now this year has been really asked to kind of step up, and they want to use him a lot more in a variety of ways. You saw right there as kind of the H-back in the backfield. They'll put him in line. They'll put him away from the core at times as well. And again, for a guy that last season only had 2 receptions, one of which was a touchdown. Nice start to the season for Cameron Height.
And another touchdown pass for Mitch Griffis. It's his 3rd of the night. He's 11 of 14 for those 230 yards and 3 scores. Passer efficiency of 287.3. I don't know the formula, but I'm pretty sure that's good.
I have no idea what that formula is.
I know 287 is a high number.
Yeah, between all the ratings they have out there from the analytics folks, it's QB rating, QBR, you've got the ESPN QBR, you've got passing efficiency. I need to go to MIT just to know these stats.
Ohio State didn't teach you that stuff?
I'll let that go. I'm sorry I didn't go to Syracuse like all of you.
Like everybody else.
Like all of you guys.
That's right.
That work for this company.
Now you see Cameron Height. I'm sure Wake Forest fans are fired up to see him contributing early, because they lose a guy in Blake Whiteheart who was super effective for them last year at tight end. He actually just made the Cardinals 53-man roster at almost 300 yards and 3 touchdowns last year. Looks like Height is going to be able to slide in. With under 2 minutes to play in the second quarter, Elon back to work, and they got a hustle. Julian Bumper gets the carry on the first play. Phoenix with 2 timeouts. Justin Allen still in there at quarterback. Throws up the sideline. Dangerous territory. Jamari Glasgow had a look at it. DeMarcus Rankin had an interception on the last drive for Elon.
And Glasgow looked like he was going to come up with an interception. He almost became the wide receiver on this play. And again, luckily for the Phoenix, that ball was overthrown. I gotta tell you, Drew, I really like this secondary for Wake Forest. I think they've got some players between some of their safeties, including Mustafa, who's one of the better safeties in the entire country, and then your 2 corners are really talented, and then you add in your nickel, and then Nick Anderson, who's just a baller.
Elon is 0 for 7 on 3rd down tonight. Nice move from Allen, but he goes down a couple of yards short. Brendan Harris will get credit for the tackle as Wake Forest calls timeout.
Defense, their first of the half. 30 seconds.
And you might be wondering, Wake Forest is up 24-0. Why are they doing this? Well, Dave Clawson has talked about the 2-minute drill and really just high leverage situations because they lost a lot of close games last year, especially down the stretch, which is really the difference between 2021, 11 wins, and 2022, 8 wins.
I don't know that Dave Clawson this early in the game's looking at the scoreboard thinking anything other than I want to put my guys in a situation where they can have that opportunity. It's a good point by you. You don't get these chances in practice to simulate a real 2-minute drive situation where you got to call the timeout, you got to force them to punt the football, and then see if Mitch Griffis can lead the offense down. Maybe not a touchdown, but at least get yourself an opportunity at a field goal attempt.
Maybe it starts with a good return from Taylor Morin, one of the best in the ACC. Awaits the kick from Kyle Romanek, calls for the fair catch at his own 30, runs into his own man. And that was dangerous for the Demon Deacons as the ball goes out of bounds inside their own 20. I think that was Jamari Glasgow who contacted Morin.
It was interesting. I think the gunner, I thought Brayboy for a second maybe pushed Glasgow into the return man, but he kind of laid off at the last second. That was just kind of a unique play. Don't see that very often.
That first game of the season.
Shake off the rust. Shake it off. Shake it off.
I hope Kelsey Rakes is listening. She'd appreciate that.
It's all for all the Swifties out there.
All right, so 44 seconds for Wake Forest. They've got 2 timeouts. Damon Claiborne next to Griffis. And he gets the call. On a massive humanity, it'll be a 1 or 2 yard gain. And Dave Clawson looks like he's taken the headset off and will be content to take a 24-0 lead to the locker room. And we will speak with head coach Dave Clawson in just a moment as his team looks rock solid in their first game of the season. They've won 17 in a row over FCS opponents, and they're halfway to another. Dustin, you impressed by the new QB1?
Very impressed. I expected this.
You'd expect from one of the best ACC programs in the last couple of years against an FCS opponent. Wake Forest won the toss and deferred to start the game, so they will start with the football here in the 3rd quarter. And Keyshawn Williams finds some space, hits the seam, and twists past the 30. Wake Forest will start again with good field position. We see number 12 putting the lid back on. Mitch Griffis will lead his Demon Deacons offense back out onto the field.
The one thing that Coach Clawson mentioned to us, Drew, right before halftime, as we went to halftime break, I should say, is that offensively, they need to get the ground game going. They only had 22 yards on the ground that first half. Yeah, the offense was high-flying and all that good stuff. But to be competitive in this conference, you have to be a balanced offense, and they got to try and get that ground game going here in the third quarter.
And they start on the ground, bouncing it toward the outside. Justice Ellison, who broke out in a big way for them last season. And first half, Dustin, sort of more the same from what we saw last year when Wake Forest was 9th in the country in passing offense per game and 92nd in rushing.
Well, I mean, part of that has to do with the fact that your offense is led by tremendous quarterback play, and really the skill positions on the outside are tremendous as well. But again, in games where you got to grind it out against really good opponents in the ACC, you're going to have to be able to run the ball at times.
And Ellison's going to be the main guy doing that. Makes a 3rd down and short. Justice Ellison, the RB1. And now Griffis will do it himself. Did he get enough?
Trying to second effort might have got it, Drew.
And it is a 1st down. And look at Griffis helping his teammates up, and they're going to get that ball spotted and go. The pace and space offense, we saw it on full display. There's the hang and bang. Griffis on the keeper. There he goes. A flag is down near the line of scrimmage. Now 2 of them as Griffis goes down at the 30-yard line. Caleb Curtin finally brought him down. That's a gain of 28
Holding.
for now.
Offense number 20. 10-yard penalty. Repeat 1st down.
That's the tight end, Cameron Height.
Yeah, Height is the H-back here on the right side. You'll see 20. And as Griffis goes to the mesh point, you're going to see him just absolutely tackle Marvin Pearson in the backfield. That's an easy call. Also a very difficult task if you're Cameron White, or Cameron Height, I should say, or anybody, frankly, to try and block number 6.
Yeah, Marvin Pearson had his fingerprints all over the first half. Probably the best pro prospect on this Elon defense. A North Carolina native from Asheville. 1st down and 20. Griffis looking, throws. There's Taylor Moore, and he is shifty. Moore across midfield. He's got the 1st down. Sometimes you just want to get it to number 2 and watch him work.
He's just so consistent at the way he runs his routes, and then his ability to make guys miss. You watch number 10, Nick Velos, come in there and just, he has no chance at Taylor Moore.
There's the mesh point again. Griffis looks, throws. Williams is there. He got bumped.
Oh, that was very close.
No flag.
I thought Bo Sanders got there early, and there's not going to be a call. Ooh, how is that not pass interference? And I usually side with the DBs because I'm a former defensive back myself, but that was way early.
Now, Foxy, do you think any Miami fans said that same thing in a national championship about 20 years ago?
If they'd like to look at my ring, they sure can.
They can kiss it if they want. It was Ellison again on 2nd down. Griffis, his quarterback, called him the most underrated player in the ACC multiple times this offseason. You're right, Dustin, when we talk about the numbers with rushing, it's a little misleading because their quarterback play is so good. A lot of the time they don't need to rely on the ground game.
By the way, every time I see George Sedano, he tries to remind me about that because he's a big Miami guy, of course. And new to ACC Network this year as well, by the way.
Welcome, George. On 3rd down and 9, Griffis going deep, and it's Banks again. If he's in the vicinity, there's a good chance he'll bring it down. 33-yard gain to the 11.
You brought that stat about the contested catches. This guy has such a wide radius and just the ability to track that ball. It's like a center fielder being able to kind of turn around and catch that ball in coverage. That 63% contested rate last year was number 1 in the ACC, as you mentioned. What was the average, like 37%?
Yeah, 38%.
That's crazy.
And the wide receiver room is probably the deepest on the Wake Forest roster. You know, they're missing Donovan Green, who went down on the first day of fall camp with a knee injury. Initial timetable 3 to 5 months, so they're hopeful that he comes back at some point this season, but that's probably the position where they're best equipped to deal with an injury. Griffis looking, and he gets dumped. It's Nick Velos. And a loss of 1 back to the original line of scrimmage brings up 3rd down and 10. So Wake Forest is the only team in FBS bringing back 4 500-plus yard receivers from last season. Now Green goes down. He's their top returner, but they've got a lot of depth, and the guy you see now, Taylor Morin, playing a little more outside to help them deal with the loss of Green, and you see him there now, bottom of your screen.
Well, not only just the production in terms of yardage, but between Morin and Banks, both of those wide receivers had 9 touchdowns a season ago, so they're getting it done.
Griffis on the move, throws, end zone, looking for Morin, incomplete. Antonio White in the coverage, and it sets up 4th down.
That's pretty good coverage there by Antonio White, the field corner. I do like how Griffis on the move is able to put that pace on the ball, roll it out to his right side. Would have been a tough catch, but a really good job by Griffis on the run.
A 29-yard attempt for Matthew Dennis, who's 1 for 1 tonight. And that kick is another beauty. He was 12 for 14 last year in his first year as the starter. He's off to a good start here in 2023. 3 more for the Deacs, early 3rd. Here, seeing intra-conference transfers playing the next year.
There's nothing weird about college football anymore. Nothing surprises me. Does it surprise you?
It just feels a little weird, right?
Yes. Everything about college football feels a little different these days.
Well, that was a different type of pass from Justin Allen on the run. Jordan Bonner brings it in for a gain of 18.
Hard not to think about if Justin Allen would have played the first quarter, where they went 3 and out every single possession, and then he came in, led him right down the field, nearly had a touchdown drive, but thus far, I mean, he has looked the part, thrown some good balls on the outside. They've got a couple talented wide receivers. Let's see if they can get something positive here on this drive.
There's Jalen Hampton right up the gut. Gain of 5 on first down. Jacob Roberts makes the tackle. He's been busy tonight. His first game at Wake Forest after transferring in from North Carolina A&T. This is an Elon team that expects to compete in the CAA. Picked 5th in the preseason poll, coming off an FCS playoff appearance and an 8-win season. They've been in the FCS since 1999, and they're perennially in the hunt for those postseason bids.
They've got some tough road games. They got to go to Villanova, Delaware, at Richmond late in the season. That is a very, very good conference.
On 2nd and 5, they get it in the hands of Brayboy, who's got speed around the edge. And he's dropped in Wake Forest territory to bring up 3rd down and short 6 minutes into this 3rd quarter. But just going back to the ACC quarterbacks quickly, Dustin. Brennan Armstrong, you mentioned paired with Robert and I again. Last time those two guys were together at Virginia in 2021, Armstrong threw for almost 4,500 yards. Whoa, look at this. Lots of space for Jalen Hampton. Elon is on the board. Bam! For 49 yards. That's their first 3rd down conversion of the night. And it leads to a touchdown for Jalen Hampton.
Well, Hampton had 10 touchdowns a season ago, over 1,000 yards. And, Drew, you mentioned he's a former ACC running back. Watch the block by Giancarlos Miller, 82. Seals off the edge, blocks 2 defenders, and allows Hampton to run scot-free to the end zone. And maybe that's something that gets the Phoenix going here in the 2nd half.
First look at Jack Berkowitz, the true freshman kicker who won the starting job. He knocks it through. 27-7.
Well, for a team that couldn't do much in the first half offensively, very positive drive to end the first half, and now to open the 2nd half, Jalen Hampton puts the Phoenix on the board. You think?
Yes. Was Jay with him? Was he running?
I just saw Rini.
We'll have to ask Jay about that.
I don't think Jay's a big runner. Is he a runner? You're a runner.
Stair stepper.
Not a good tennis player, though.
Tennis player. I'll run around out there. Wake Forest back to work on offense is Keyshawn Williams on the return. Now, for those at home wondering, as a flag flies in, why are they talking about tennis? We will explain in just a moment.
After further discussion, there is no foul for an illegal block in the back. First down.
So Wake Forest has a really good tennis program, men's and women's. They're both in the tournament every year. If you're a big professional tennis fan, like my partner Dustin Fox is here, you know that the last event before the U.S. Open, so the event last week, was held here in Winston-Salem, not far from where we are right now, right?
Right behind the stadium right there.
And so Dustin was watching the tennis event, said, we could play on those courts. We got on the indoor facility, and thank you to Tamer Hagazi, who runs the facility over there, for helping us out. We got to
hook us up with some rackets and some court time.
We got to hit around a little bit.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
It was fun for you. I was not very good. Damon Claiborne shows the speed around the edge and picks up the first down for Wake Forest. Bo Sanders makes the tackle for Elon. There's some real powerhouses here at Wake Forest. You think about the golf teams always in contention for national championships. Steve Forbes has it rolling now with the basketball program on the men's side. You got this football program at the top. Mitch Griffis pumps, looks to escape and can't do it. He'll pick up about a 1-yard gain as Marvin Pearson brings him down.
It's incredible what this program has done under Dave Clawson the last decade. You know, the 7 straight bowl appearances, second most in the conference. You know, they're growing the brand. They're getting the fans to come out. It's going to be an interesting season for the Demon Deacons. I really do like this program, and I like the direction that Dave Clawson has the program going. And their facilities, oh my goodness. You and I, we talked about it a little bit. We toured them yesterday. Some of the nicest facilities I've ever seen.
It's Claiborne again on second down.
They've got the barber shop. They've got
Ivan Mora cutting hair.
Is it Keyshawn Williams the barber?
Keyshawn Williams and Ivan Mora, they're cutting hairs at the Dapper Deacon barber shop. Ivan Mora was the first barber, and then Keyshawn Williams kind of learned from him. If you watch the ACC Network road trip, you got to see them cutting some hair.
With the Louis Vuitton. I like that.
And we just saw Griffis try to complete to Keyshawn Williams, saying thank you for the haircut, but Bo Sanders was in there applying the pressure, so it's incomplete, fourth down.
Right, and listen, that's a good stop for this Elon defense. Maybe some positive momentum here. You got the touchdown drive. You're on the board. You're only down 20. There's plenty of time left in this ball game. And you're probably going to end up with decent field position here after they force the punt.
And here is the barber, Ivan Mora, the original, out for his third punt tonight. The flag comes in at the line of scrimmage on the near sideline. Brayboy calls for the fair catch inside his 20, and we'll check the penalty. Check that. Bo Sanders on the fair catch for the Phoenix. As of now, it's a 49-yard punt.
Offside. Receiving team, number 3. That penalty is declined. First down.
Little momentum here for Elon. A touchdown drive, a stop on defense. Phoenix trying to work their way back in.
It's time for football in front of a packed house onto the lights.
Come for.
And one update, NC State leading 10-7 against UConn to start the second half as Justin Allen throws incomplete. It was tipped at the line of scrimmage. Second down coming up for Elon. This Phoenix team just got on the board with a quick strike drive capped off by a 49-yard touchdown from Jalen Hampton. When they come back, they get a stop, Dustin. Things feel a little bit different now.
It really does. And if they can get something positive on this drive, I mean, goodness, even if you got 3 out of this drive, you put yourself in a position to make it close maybe in the fourth quarter. That's always the goal when you come in as an underdog like Elon is, an FCS opponent playing a Power 5 school.
Allen looking left. That's where Brayboy is. The sideline almost had it. Deshaun Jones in coverage for the Demon Deacons.
Well, there was a lot of contact there and a little bit of extracurricular activities after the play there. The refs let that go. As you see the hand fighting down the field, I think it's both players trying to kind of make a play for the football. Obviously some frustration. I think it's a good coverage there. I think it's really good coverage on the outside by Deshaun Jones.
Good throw, too, from Allen.
It was a well-thrown football.
Third down and 10. Elon's only converted once tonight. Allen stands in, pumps, looks, flushed. To the sideline. It's caught. And Nick Anderson with a nice form tackle on Jordan Bonner to stop him 3 yards short.
Nick Anderson, it's like a linebacker in a safety body. I mean, guy just makes every tackle. Comes in here and, as you say, form fits the tackle, grabs cloth, grabs the leg, spins him down on the ground, and forces the 3 and out.
He's a heck of a player. It's easy to forget he started as a walk-on.
That's incredible. And was, what, third team All-ACC?
Yeah.
Back in 2020?
When he started as a walk-on. That's the 7th.
He had 4 picks that year.
3 in 1 game. Romanek's punt fielded by Taylor Morin out to about the 45-yard line. A flag is on the field on the other side of the 50. By the way, was the 7th 3 and out forced by the Wake Forest defense today.
During the return, illegal block in the back. Receiving team number 9. The 10-yard penalty will be enforced at the end of the return. First down, Wake Forest.
Well, they wanted to call the block in the back on the kick return. Now they got him. It's Jalen Garnes, a starting defensive back for Wake Forest. You like when teams have their starters on special teams?
I think it depends. You know, it depends on the player and also, you know, the coaching philosophy. You know, all 4 years when I was at Ohio State, even when I was a starter, I played on the punt team. I was on the punt return team and ran down on kickoffs.
Did you enjoy it?
I tried to get out of running down on some of those kickoffs when I was winded. But, you know, the other thing, too, Drew, is that a lot of these guys, you may be a starter in college, but if you have aspirations to play at the next level, one of the big things these coaches in the NFL look at in GMs is that, can you play special teams? And they want to see some tape of you in college, so I don't have a problem with that.
That's a great point. I mean, only 53 roster spots for these NFL teams, a bunch of which are now filled by former Wake Forest players.
Yeah. Well, they have 13 guys in the league.
Jesse Bates is the richest one now.
Yeah, he got some bread.
Going to Atlanta, 4-year, $64 million contract, biggest ever for a Wake Forest alum. And it'll be a first down for the Deacs as Justice Ellison moves the pile ahead. Also, an undrafted guy with the Rams, Kobe Turner, is apparently slated to start next to Aaron Donald on the defensive line.
I think that'll help his career.
Yeah. Not a bad teammate to have. Here's the mesh point. Picked. Griffis throws, intercepted. And it's coming back the other way. Caleb Curtin, pick 6. We might have ourselves a game. Wow.
You know, I was just thinking, as long as Griffis is holding that football in that mesh point, it felt like a gamble, and he just did not see Caleb Curtin at all. He looks off to his left, comes back, and Curtin's right there in the middle. Just kind of hides behind the offensive line, jumps up, and then boom, right there. Gets it and takes it to the house.
47-yard return for a touchdown. And it's a 2-score game here in Winston-Salem.
And remember, Caleb Curtin, he came to Elon as a wide receiver. So I think the young man knows what to do with the football in his hands. That sort of silenced the crowd a little bit.
And here's who we're looking at, Devontae Edwards, the Elon defensive coordinator. We're talking about the NFL. Dustin,
yeah.
You guys were rookies together in Minnesota. Edwards goes on to have a pick six against Brett Favre on Monday Night Football in his first season. So he knows a thing or two about a pick six.
I'll never forget that game. I was actually on IR that year, but we played the same position, both played corner, and picked off Brett Favre, ran down the sideline. I think he did a flip into the end zone, too.
Yes. That's his only piece of advice for Caleb Curtin there, is he got to have more style. As
Right. I'll tell you this much. If you ever intercept Brett Favre on Monday Night Football and take it to the house, I think your career is made.
Yes.
That's pretty cool.
You see his group really improves as the game goes on. That's what the numbers bore out last year as Elon won 8 games. So a little more tense here at a Legacy Stadium now. It's back-to-back touchdowns for Elon. And Jake Marion comes out to kick it away. Will Keyshawn Williams have a chance? Oh, yes, he will. Starting at the 5. Williams makes a move. There goes Keyshawn Williams. Past the 50. And a big-time return to inject some juice back into the house here in Winston.
You can just see the speed and burst of Keyshawn Williams once he gets the football. May have got away with a little block in the back there, but nonetheless gets it out near midfield and gives Wake excellent field position here when it felt like Elon had a little momentum there.
You know, on the ACC Network football road trip where they went to all the preseason camps, Eddie Royal did a drill with Keyshawn Williams, right? Where Keyshawn said, yeah, in the kick return, they don't really kick it to me anymore. He got a chance there, and he took advantage. Griffis looking to redeem himself after the interception. Throws complete. It's Jahmal Banks again, who's had a big night. First down, Deacs.
Well, Eddie was trying to show him kind of the little tricks of the trade, because the little loophole is if you got a foot on the white out-of-bounds line, as you field the ball, if they're trying to kick it away from you, you automatically get the ball at the 35-yard line. Illegal procedure. So it's a nice little trick of the trade, and nice of Eddie Royal to share his tricks.
There goes Griffis around the right edge. You start to see some similarities with John Wolford, right? With the undersized quarterback sort of looking for angles where he can throw the ball to. That's why you see him change his arm ankle, and then, of course, the speed, maybe some more designed runs in the offense.
And you also want to see if he bounces back. I mean, the guy seems to be super resilient. They said he's steady Eddie, always positive.
That's a big lesson you learned from Sam Hartman, too.
Right. I mean, you're going to throw interceptions from time to time. It's part of playing the position. It's how you respond to those plays, and you can't let it make you go in the tank. And right here, back out there, marching right down the field.
Damon Claiborne brings him inside the 30. Fresh set of downs for Griffis and the Deacs. Under 3 minutes left in the third. Griffis pulls it. And the pass, I think, was deflected before it made it to Jahmal Banks.
Oh, it was Caleb Curtin again, kind of gets himself in the mix there from his bandit position. Did a similar thing that he did on the interception, kind of jumps up in the air. I think it sort of throws off Mitch Griffis. You see number 1 come into your screen and kind of jumps up and maybe blocks a little bit of the vision of Griffis and probably led to the errant throw.
That was going to be a hang and bang for a touchdown. Now Griffis on the straight drop. There's Banks. This time they connect. His 5th catch of the night. He's above 80 yards. Brought down inside the 25 by Antonio White. Here comes third down. Those two guys have been a common connection this evening. Of course, Wake Forest missing Donovan Green for, we think, 3 to 5 months. They hope to get him back at some point this season. Well, they've got depth returning at wideout. On 3rd down and 3. Elon brings the house. Griffis feels it, throws it, completes it. Guess who? Jahmal Banks. 1st down, Wake Forest.
And you'll see a terrific blitz pickup here by the running back, Claiborne, 23. In the backfield, you see the linebacker come right in that A gap. He doesn't make that blitz pickup, that's going to be a sack.
Under 2 minutes left in the 3rd. Griffis looking for his contested catch superstar, and he cannot connect with Banks this time. Antonio White in the coverage on Banks, who's over 100 yards tonight, just his 2nd career 100-plus yard game, along with Clemson last year.
That is excellent defense by Antonio White, number 3, the corner. Press coverage, does a good job getting his hands on the wide receiver. It's a big physical guy, and is somehow able to play the football through the end of the down. That's good coverage. That's what you're supposed to be. That's what you're taught. I don't know. The Ivor looked that good.
No flag on that one, Foxy?
I got called for PI every time, dude.
And it's a Claiborne. Finds a little bit of a seam and gets driven backward at the 10. Bo Sanders and Brandon Tyson combined to make the tackle.
I do like the body language of Elon right now defensively. They're playing with a little bit of confidence, even though, you know, Wake's driving, they're inside the red zone. I think that they've got a little bit of swagger to them. You saw it with that last pass breakup, and then, of course, Brandon Tyson. That guy's out there talking a little smack.
Another North Carolina native on this Elon roster. 3rd down and 8. Griffis steps up, throws, end zone. Morin's got it, but he lost it.
I think he lost his helmet, too.
Yeah. Ball came loose at the last second. Dylan Tucker in coverage. And Morin, who had 9 TD catches last year, almost had his first of this season.
And this was going to be a spectacular catch if he could go up. He gets the feet down. He just can't corral the ball, and give Dylan Tucker a lot of credit. Tucker does a good job playing through the down as Morin loses the helmet too.
Matthew Dennis back out there for another 29-yard attempt. He hit from this exact distance last time we saw him. And the redshirt sophomore from Charlotte, end over end and through. Still a 2-score game, though, with under a minute to play in the 3rd. So Elon responds. Making a stop there, preventing a touchdown. Matthew Dennis still enjoying it with a little Money Manziel celebration. He's 3 for 3 tonight, but how about the response from the Phoenix?
Got to give him a lot of credit. This is a great run by Jalen Hampton, the tailback, who's kind of been corralled quite a bit tonight. Gets out there, and then the pick 6. Caleb Curtin taking this one to the house. The former wide receiver turned defensive back. Makes it a much closer game. I mean, it was, what, 27-0? All of a sudden, 30-14 doesn't look so bad.
Elon, all-time against the ACC, is 1-28-2. Their only win ever against the conference against Miami back in 1928. That's Miami, Florida. You got to specify that this weekend. Chandler Brayboy lets that one bounce through, and with 58 seconds left in this 3rd quarter, Elon gets it at the 25. Really a distinct feeling shift in this 2nd half. And remember, they made a quarterback change in the 2nd quarter. They started with Matthew Downing, the transfer from 3 different schools, Georgia, TCU, Louisiana Tech. They give the keys to the guy, Justin Allen, who's been in this program for 5 years, and he has changed everything.
Yeah, he's done a great job. Comes in cold off the bench. Not like amazing numbers, but when you think about how stifling the defense was in that opening quarter, much different offense and has more rhythm.
Gives it to Jalen Hampton here, and the flag comes in as Hampton goes down after a gain of 3.
Holding. Offense number 82. 10-yard penalty. First down.
John Carlos Miller, the tight end. Yeah, the big block to Springhampton on the 49-yard touchdown run in the third. Jalen Hampton really changed the look of this offense last year. They ran for over 150 yards per game as a team after they averaged just 90 the season before that. Virginia Tech transfer to the right of Justin Allen on first down and 18. And they swing it out to Hampton. Man they call Bam, puts a move on.
You just can't get away from Mustafa. I mean, Mustafa, you see number 3 in space, and Jalen Hampton is a very talented running back. The way he pursues the football, the angle he takes on the running back, just watch 3 come into your screen here. Inside out, breaks down, and it's such a difficult play to make. People have no idea how tough it is to make those plays in space. That is tremendous by Malik Mustafa.
One of the best athletes in the ACC and in the entire country. And that'll be the final play of the third quarter. So Elon hanging here, applying a little pressure, down by 2 scores.
You know, we've got to finish the drive on offense. We're kicking too many field goals tonight.
All right, Dave, thanks for doing this. Good luck in the fourth.
No problem.
It was 27-0. Wake Forest. Elon scored back-to-back touchdowns, followed by another Wake Forest field goal. Until we got here 30-14, start in the fourth quarter. Justin Allen back at the controls for Elon. Looks to throw on 2nd and 15 and completes. It's Jordan Bonner, Elon's second top returning receiver. Picks up about half the yardage necessary on second down.
Yeah, I think Coach Clausen's absolutely correct. I mean, if Elon somehow is able to get another touchdown on the board, things are going to get real interesting here.
But we should also mention before we move on, that's really cool that Dave Clausen did that.
No question. Yeah, go ahead.
Third and fourth quarter, right? That's a new thing in the ACC this year. Lots of access. We really appreciate the coaches.
Absolutely.
On third down and 6. Allen complete over the middle. It's Bonner again, but will he have enough? That's the question.
Well, he's short, but this is a great throw between 2 defenders, Jones and Mustafa, who come in there and make the stop and keep him just short. Somehow he rifles this ball into double coverage. And if I'm Elon, you absolutely go for this. Very similar spot on the field as they did last time, going for it. Do they decide to go quarterback sneak under center? Well, they're under center. We'll find out if they quarterback sneak.
That's what they did last time. And they'll try to push Allen across the line. He needs the 35.
The official's coming in right at the 35. See if they give him the call. I think he is going to give him the first down.
Cody Hardy, the tight end, pushed him. Let's see. That is a first down.
That is a first down. How about that? I thought he was stuffed for a moment and just had to get the football across the tip of the 35-yard line, which is where they put it. I think a pretty favorable spot.
Little road cooking. Well, not too far from Elon, North Carolina.
55 minutes
in the triad.
And they drove up today, remember. Maybe that led to the slow start. Possibly.
Bonner, the motion man. They fake it to him. Give it to Hampton instead, and he's stopped in a hurry. It's Jacob Roberts again who's in there first. 40 in black and gold. Has had an outstanding first game at Wake.
Yeah, tremendous discipline by Roberts, staying at home. There's so many different things going on this play between the fakes and the misdirection. But if you watch the eyes of 40 right here, your linebacker, he's going to keep his eyes in the backfield, watch the quarterback the entire way, and stays right at home and just swallows up the running back.
2 flags pre-snap.
Illegal substitution. More than 11 players in formation. Offense. 5-yard penalty. Second down.
If you're head coach Tony Trisciani, No matter the final outcome here, you got to be really proud of your team for the way they've bounced back, for the way that they have
they
risen from the ashes.
Like the Phoenix.
Like the Phoenix. Allen throws on 2nd and 16 all the way across the field. It's complete again to Jordan Bonner.
2nd and 16, he throws it 40 yards to gain 2.
Impressive pass.
But it was an impressive pass. My point in saying that is the coverage of Wake is locking down everything from top down, and really the only option that Justin Allen had was to take his check down there, which was basically a 40-yard throw away.
A deep ball.
Yeah.
When you think about the big plays Wake Forest allowed last year, most of it was through the passing game. They give up 73 plays of 20-plus yards total, which was the most in the ACC. Tonight, they've given up 2 big plays, but it was a run and a pick 6. So it has not been the passing defense that's been the problem. Play clock's at 5. Phoenix 1 for 11 on 3rd down tonight. Another long pass across the field. Bonner makes a man miss and pushed out of bounds. Maybe with enough yardage to go for it on 4th down again.
I think you absolutely go for it. I mean, it's 4th and about 3. Maybe more like 4th and 2.
Here comes the punt unit.
That's very surprising.
Could we see something tricky here?
I think Wake Forest is going to go punt safe and be very, very aware and alert for something tricky.
Romanek does kick it. It's a short punt that Morin sprints up to receive past his own 25. So the Wake Forest defense forces a punt. Up by 16 about 5 minutes into the 4th.
Felt like an opportunity, especially with the clock changes, if I could spit it out. Not a lot of time left, and you're down 16 points, so we'll see.
Justice Ellison catches the pass out of the backfield. A short gain on 1st down. Bo Sanders makes the tackle.
That's interesting. The defense of Elon has really played with a little bit more confidence, and frankly, I think because their offense has been able to stay on the field a little bit longer, their defense has been a little bit more rested. It had opportunities to get off on the sidelines, and then obviously the pick 6 was huge.
Griffis uncorks, looking for Keyshawn Williams. Lots of contact. Oof. And no flag. Dylan Tucker was back there for the Phoenix.
Well, that was very, very close to being pass interference. Typically, you got to get your head turned around if you go into the body of the wide receiver, and he does. He does at the last moment. I think the official probably saw that head turn around and tried to make an attempt on the ball as he was very close to getting a flag.
Deacs 1 for their last 4 on 3rd down. Griffis looking. That's a seed caught by Williams. 1st down.
I'm saying the way that Mitch is running this offense, if you slapped a Hartman jersey on him, I think you'd think it was the same guy. I mean, the offense, my point is the offense looks very, very similar to what it did last year. Not right there, though.
That play is going absolutely nowhere, and no surprise, it's Marvin Pearson. He's been living in the backfield tonight.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the right tackle, Gordon, had a rough time with Marvin Pearson right there.
Wake wasting no time. Cameron Height, the tight end's got another catch. He had a long touchdown earlier. Sets up 3rd down. Well, to your point about Griffis, I mean, there's a reason Wake Forest doesn't really bring in transfer quarterbacks. They have not done that under the Clausen, Warren, Ruggiero regime.
Well, they haven't had to. And it's not that they're totally against it or anti-transfer portal at quarterback. they really feel good. Oh boy.
Under pressure, Griffis dropped. Kazim Moore makes the tackle. That's a guy they're really excited about at Elon. They think he's going to have a big year. That's their 4th sack tonight.
Yeah, this is a guy that this offseason really sort of transformed his body from a freshman to a sophomore. And you can see he just worked that angle around Zach Vaughn, the right tackle.
The second half has not looked like Power 5 versus FCS.
It has not. No, I mean, this has been a very competitive second half.
Ivan Moore out to kick it away for Wake. Under 5 on the play clock. Bo Sanders awaits it for Elon. He'll have a chance. Down just inside his own 30. So the Phoenix go back to work. Not a bad showing from the road team tonight. At their own 29 midway through this 4th quarter.
You wonder if they just kind of took their foot off the gas, felt so confident going in at halftime, and you got a 27-point lead, and you can't do anything wrong. You're stopping them on defense.
Justin Allen throws incomplete, trying to find Christian De Silva. A.J. Williams in coverage for Wake. I mean, Dustin, if you're a Wake Forest fan, how do you feel walking away from this game?
I'll tell you in 7 minutes and 35 seconds.
A lot could change.
Because a lot could change. I mean, all of a sudden, what if Wake gets a pick 6 or they go down and score in 37-14? You feel a heck of a lot better than you do right now.
Definitely been a noticeable vibe shift from the first half. Here's Jalen Hampton, Virginia Tech transfer, who's had a nice night, including that long touchdown. Kevin Pointer brings him down.
Well, Drew, as the clock continues to run, I do think, I mean, I know they punted last time in this similar situation. If you can just get 3-4 yards here, you've got to go for it on 4th down. There's just not enough time left, because remember, if you do score, you still have to go for 2 twice.
Seven minutes left. On 3rd down and 6. Allen steps to his right, throws, dangerous, picked off. It's Deshaun Jones who hauls it in for the Deacs, their 2nd INT tonight.
Drew, I cannot say enough about Davis, number 30, inside, puts the pressure, comes to the quarterback, forces him out, and then the great pick by Deshaun Jones. And Wake Forest may have a little bit better feeling here as they wrap up this one.
These Demon Deacons hosting the Dukes of James Madison. Wake Forest offense back to work. Damon Claiborne gets the call on the first play, breaks a tackle, and might have 1st down yardage. Down near the 30, and that will move the sticks.
Claiborne showing off some of that speed. Former state champion in the 100-meter dash in the state of Virginia. I like his burst there. A nice running back room here between Ellison, Claiborne.
I haven't seen Tate Carney yet, younger brother of Cade Carney, who is a 1,000-yard rusher here at Wake.
Great running back.
It's been all Ellison and Claiborne. Milking the play clock, down to 3. Griffis hands back to Claiborne. Same side, Claiborne bursts through. Twisted down at the 15-yard line. Bo Sanders ushers him out of bounds.
See, this is that new rule. I mean, 1st down, the clock still runs.
That's the longest Wake Forest run today at 16 yards. You mentioned the burst of Claiborne. We saw that speed last year, a 32-yard run against BC. Didn't see a whole lot of time behind Justice Ellison last season, but he looks like he will contribute this year. Right back to Claiborne. Another nice move at the line of scrimmage. Down at the 10. Caleb Curtin, who had that pick 6, brings him down.
You know, Drew, when Dave Clawson, head coach at Wake Forest, mentioned to us at halftime they want to see the running game get going here in the second half.
Officials timeout.
They certainly have gotten better.
Injured Phoenix
Media
is Nick Velos. And with under 5 minutes left in the fourth, we'll step aside.
Those new tiles are falling.
Coming down the home stretch of this game, Wake Forest and Elon. The Deacs by 16 with under 5 to play. Threatening again, ball at the 10, a 2nd down and 6. Mitch Griffis, their starting quarterback, still out there. This is his first year as the unquestioned QB1. Sam Hartman was here for 5 years. Majority he spent as the starter. And now Griffis in his 4th year in the program. He's the guy. We talk about the pace and space and how this is one of the fastest offenses in the country in terms of how quickly they snap the ball. In this situation, letting it run. We go back to Jahmal Claiborne, finds a seam, stiff arm, and scores. Jahmal Claiborne is on the board with his first touchdown as a Deac.
Let's just watch the right side of this offensive line and the hole that Claiborne's able to run through. Just a phenomenal kick-out block, and there's nobody there. Nick Sharp did a great job kicking out the defensive tackle, and Claiborne barely touched walking into the end zone.
First career touchdown. Keep that football.
Absolutely.
They've got a $38 million facility. I think they can afford another one. Dennis's extra point is good.
Take a look at Nick Sharp, number 70. Just totally pushes Josh Johnson out of the screen as he then carries Caleb Curtin into the end zone.
Picked up an extra 8 yards in the end zone with that stiff arm.
It's pretty brutal.
I think Claiborne's going to be a player for them.
I agree. Just had 14 carries a season ago, and they've been really impressed with him throughout camp, and they know what they have in Justice Ellison. Boy, he had Claiborne in, and you know, all these talented wide receivers. There is a plethora of skill position on this offense.
No return from Brayboy. And Elon with just over 4 minutes left here will go back to work on offense. That last drive, Mitch Griffis didn't have to do much, just turn around and hand it to 23. It was 4 plays, 4 rushes, 41 yards, and a score. Really, aside from that one interception Griffis threw, which resulted in a pick 6, it was about as good as it gets. Justin Allen, the quarterback for Elon, hands to Jalen Hampton. And a short gain on first down.
What a night Griffis has had in his, I would call it kind of his debut, right? I mean, he started last year against VMI in week 1 as Hartman was battling a little bit of an illness. And he's just been phenomenal. Certainly in the first half. I think second half things got a little dicey with the pick 6. But nearly perfect in the first half. I'd say anytime you throw for 329 yards, that's a good night.
You talk to people around this program about Mitch Griffis. His personality is that of a QB, right? I mean, he's a coach's son. His dad was his coach at Broad Run High School in Virginia. Griffis has been around this program for a long time, and Dave Clawson says, if you don't like him and enjoy being around him, you probably have something wrong with you.
Yeah, in fact, I had a chance to meet him this morning.
Yeah.
They were staying at the same hotel as us, and I recognized the young man and went up and introduced myself to him. Very, very polite. Looking forward to watching what he can do here for the Deacs this season.
Keep in mind, Mitch Griffis, even though this is his first year as a starter and his 4th year in the program, was one of the higher rated recruits who's been brought here at the quarterback position. Now, I think really the big takeaway from the numbers we just showed you is that none of those guys were even in, what, the top 600, and they were all some of the best quarterbacks in the ACC.
Well, I think that speaks to just the way that they've developed their talent here. And kind of got into it earlier before there were some big plays that happened, but they don't really want to go into the portal and get quarterbacks. They really do want to kind of treat it like they're a farm system in baseball, right? You want to develop your talent. You want those guys to learn the culture. And by the way, Mitch Griffis could have easily walked away and transferred somewhere else. He stayed. He's going to be here for several more seasons, and now he's got his opportunity.
Redshirt sophomore. Allen goes down. That's Aiden Hall who makes the tackle, the freshman linebacker. Timeout, Elon.
Charge timeout. Elon, the first of the half. It will be 30 seconds.
So we've seen some fight from the Phoenix, especially in that third quarter when they outscored the Demon Deacons 14-6. You see the schedule coming up as they play in the CAA, the 15-team FCS League, one of the best conferences at the FCS level. Gardner-Webb is up next for them on Saturday. I think that Justin Allen,
Has he earned the right to start next week? I would say so.
I think so.
Yeah. Now, again, we're not there. We don't know what's going on in practice, but I would say from what you saw him put on tape today, how do you not give that kid another opportunity next week? You know, something else to maybe think about, too, is Matthew Downing last season had that knee injury right in that final game at Louisiana Tech. You wonder, is he fully 100%?
John Carlos Miller, the tight end, brings it to the 35. For Downing, there's a flag back at the opposite 45. For Downing, it's been a long journey. Right?
It has been.
Georgia started as a walk-on, then TCU, then Louisiana Tech, now in his 4th school.
After further discussion, there is no foul for holding. The play results in a first down.
So Elon moving it here with under 90 seconds to play. Allen looks. Incomplete. There's another guy who might be in the mix for the Phoenix, at least in the future, and that's Will Langford, a younger quarterback who they're really excited about. Number 7 for the Phoenix. He's a guy who was taking first-team reps in fall camp. Allen throws on the run. Incomplete again along that sideline, looking for Landon Backey. Well, with Wake Forest, we've talked a lot about their offense tonight, Dustin, which is what typically happens, and there's Will Langford for Elon. Defensively, pretty impressive. You know, they give up the 49-yard touchdown run, which Coach Clausen said they got caught in a cover 0. Aside from that, especially in the first half, they were rock solid.
I've been very impressed with a lot of the players. And remember, when you're talking about these FCS players, you know, they're on scholarship too. I mean, they've got good players at a lot of these programs. The problem is they don't have a lot of the depth, right? So when you get into a game like this against a Power 5 team, it becomes a bit of an issue, especially late in games. And you almost have to play the perfect game to beat a Power 5 school. But I'll say this, and I've done the FCS playoffs darn near every season in the last decade, and it's some good football. And Elon is going to be very competitive this year, not only in their conference, the CAA, but trying to make a run back to the FCS playoffs again.
Wes Durham's going to have a fun year watching this team. Our friend here at ACC Network, he'll be at Virginia Tech Saturday, calling the primetime game. We met Wes's brother Taylor earlier today. Works for the Elon radio.
Great guy.
Runs in the family.
Prior to the snap, charge timeout. Elon, their second of the half. It will be 30 seconds.
So let's check out what's coming up for Wake Forest. They get this win here against an FCS opponent tonight. Up next, it's Vanderbilt, week 2 for the second year in a row. You can watch that game right here on ACC Network. It's next Saturday. And it's at Old Dominion. And the ACC play starts. Georgia Tech, Clemson, and Virginia Tech in this new scheduling model in the ACC. It's a modified format. Divisions are a thing of the past. And Coach Clausen was saying earlier that this offseason, you know, we thought that maybe the schedule would be a little easier because the Atlantic, at least recently, has been stronger than the Coastal. Not quite. I mean, it's still a pretty tough schedule.
That Clemson game is going to be very, very interesting.
It was a classic when they played here last year. Double overtime.
That's right.
4th down and 2. Elon's going for it. Allen completes and converts. It's Christian De Silva inside the red zone with a minute to play here in the 4th. Now remember, under 2 minutes, the clock does stop on a first down for them to move the chains. And now they wind it. Look at Allen orchestrating this drive. That'll be complete. It's De Silva again on the out.
The ruling on the field is a completed pass. 2nd down.
That was close.
You make the call, Foxy.
I think he had control of the ball. The question is, was the knee in bounds? And, you know, the officials are not trying to slow down the game in situations like this where it probably isn't going to decide the game.
Allen backpedals, throws it away. Right off the new Legacy Stadium logo.
You seem to be pretty excited about the new stadium name.
Maybe I'm getting checks.
Never know.
Nope. That's not happening. Purely in jest.
I don't know if you're more excited about the name change or the pace and space or the hang and bang.
It's all about branding. Jalen Hampton gets the carry on 3rd and short, and he will come up short of the sticks. Elon has 1 timeout left. And it looks like the Phoenix will send out the field goal unit. Well, it's a true freshman kicker. You hope this moment is not overwhelming for him. Jack Berkowitz comes out to attempt his first career field goal. from 28 yards. You bet. 1 second on the clock. Tony Trisciani saying, I thought that might be a last-second field goal. And it's potentially significant to some, certainly Jack Berkowitz.
Whoever's running that clock really must like kickoffs.
They just love being here at a legacy stadium. Good place to spend a Thursday night.
As the young man bangs it through the uprights.
A coaching opportunity for Dave Clawson, everything is. And we got to chat with Coach Clawson yesterday. And after our conversation, we got a tour of the new facility.
Yeah.
We went to the weight room. Guess who's there?
By himself, wearing a weighted vest, getting his core in, his core workout.
56 years old.
Dude looks like he's 40 years old.
He's implemented hot yoga into his routine as of a couple years ago.
Phenomenal shape he's in.
You should get him to pick up tennis.
Yeah.
Great program here, 2018 national champs.
Maybe if we get back here for another game, we'll invite him out to the indoor.
He did give us a good recommendation for dinner last night, Ryan's Steakhouse.
It was phenomenal.
Outstanding.
Shout out. I still can't pronounce what I ate. And you can't either.
Au revoir.
Au revoir.
And that's the game.
That is the end of the game.
So it ends as a